So let's get into a brief meditation, my friends, to start this Facebook Live off. All I need you to do is put your feet flat on the ground, okay? Hands on the side or hands in front of you like kind of a lotus, gently resting in front of you. You may go ahead and you can close your eyes, okay? And as you close your eyes, get yourself comfortable, move around just a little bit, okay? And take a few deep breaths. Our main focus here is going to be on our breath. So as you begin breathing in your safety color, and you breathe in that safety color and you move it to specific areas in your body that are tense, I want you to breathe out the color of fear and tension. I want you to do that over and over again to start this meditation. Breathing in your safety color, moving it to tense areas in your body, and breathing out the color of fear and tension over and over again. Slowing everything down, slowing your world down, putting your to-do lists away, and just being here in this moment, totally present, breathing in your safety color and breathing out the color of fear and tension. Allowing that feeling of gratitude to arise within you, to say, I am so grateful to be among these beautiful and inspirational people. What a moment, what a moment. I want you to go ahead and tap into those beautiful feelings and emotions now of gratitude. As you continue to breathe in your safety color and breathe out the color of tension. As we begin our mantras during this meditation, there's no need to analyze them. They will continue as you continue to find yourself in this present moment, totally at peace, full of gratitude, as we begin with, I have feelings, but I am not my feelings. I have thoughts, but I am not my thoughts. I have emotions, but I am not my emotions. I have experiences, but I am not my experiences. I have friends, but I am not my friends. I have family, but I am not my family. I am inner peace. I have feelings, but I am not my feelings. I have thoughts, but I am not my thoughts. I have emotions, but I am not my emotions. I have experiences, but I am not my experiences. I have friends, but I am not my friends. I have family, but I am not my family. I am inner peace. Going even deeper now, slowing everything down, allowing us to get back in touch with our true, natural, divine selves. I have feelings, but I am not my feelings. I have thoughts, but I am not my thoughts. I have emotions, but I am not my emotions. I have experiences, but I am not my experiences. I have friends, but I am not my friends. I have family, but I am not my family. I am inner peace. As we bring our focus back to our breathing, noticing how our breathing has slowed down on the inhale and the exhale. As we let go of any self-sabotaging ideas, we say goodbye. As we begin to create separation between us and our fears. As we tell our fears, thank you for providing me the protection up to this point, but I can take it from here. As you give yourself an unbelievably loving self-hug, and as you give yourself that self-hug, you direct it towards your inner child, that child who was so brave, that child who was so courageous and survived some very difficult times. Let that child know how much you love them and how much you appreciate them and how much you appreciate their guidance. When you're ready, you can open up your eyes. You know, many people think that meditation should be done for hours and hours and hours, and if it's not done for hours and hours and hours, then there's no point of doing it. I disagree. In the beginning of my journey, I remember doing meditation for brief moments of time, right? Maybe for 1 minute, 2 or 3 times a day. So please make sure that you give yourself these moments, give yourself these opportunities, and comment below and let me know the biggest insight was from that simple meditation that we just did. What insight did you gain? What did you learn about yourself in those brief moments? What did you realize that you didn't realize before? You can go ahead and comment below, my friends, as we move into questions. I had a plan today of going quite deep. I know in the last Instagram Live, I focused quite a bit on the pyramid of cans, right? And when we talk about these pyramid of cans, we talked about the importance of understanding whether our focus is going towards the top rows, which are the symptoms, or is our focus moving more towards the root causes of what we're feeling today. I wanted to go into that, but more importantly, I want to get to questions. Later on, if you would like, I can move us into this direction and focus on the pyramid of beliefs, which is what I like to call it. But just some reflection. Powerful mantra for Natalie. Good stuff, good stuff. Trudy, how are you? Welcome, welcome. That analogy was good. Okay, so it did help. It did create some clarity for Leslie. That's fantastic. Good to see you, Leslie. Be loving towards your child self rather than disrupted by that part of ourselves. Keyword, part. I like it. 60-second brain vacations. Yes, mini vacations, something I do very often. How important is that? Yes. So let's get into questions. I know that there are some here. Ask away, my friends. Ask away in the comment section, and let's get to those. And these questions can be about anything. I'm quite an open guy, so bring it on. I would like to know, Kim, how are you? Kim, you're doing the Inner Circle program, I believe. I would like to know if I should push myself out of my comfort zone a lot. And that depends. It really depends on you. It depends on the person, right? Many times when we start to feel better, we want to take on more and more things because we feel like, hey, this is going to be helpful, and many times it's harmful. I believe that a gentle approach is more important than a forceful approach, okay? So when I mean a gentle approach to exposing yourself, I think it's important to work with your inner child, okay? When you, because isn't this the most important thing, guys? The most important thing is to rebuild that relationship with the inner child / subconscious mind, allowing the inner child to know that we don't have to force them into situations, but rather we want to get a feel for whether or not they are ready for certain things. I believe if someone is feeling a tremendous amount of anxiousness going into a situation, then they need to do some deeper work prior to putting themselves into those situations. Because you will get to a point where there is no situation out there that will cause you anxiety. Okay, not a single new or uncertain situation. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to continue to do the inner child work, Kim. Meditation will help you to understand what events you're ready for, because you want to continue to challenge yourself, but you don't want to force challenges upon your inner child self, if that makes sense. Feel it out. Go with what you feel, okay? Fear, moving towards fear is exactly what we need to do, okay? But at the same time, I believe that gentleness is very, very important, okay? So please take that insight with you. Brandon, how are you? Good to see you. Why do we feel so much anxiety around what other people think, especially around the truth of religion, politics, COVID, and how different our beliefs can be from someone else? Thoughts on letting this go and fully trusting your own truth? Well, I believe that we place a tremendous amount of importance on what people think because we don't want to let people down. We don't want to let people down. I believe it has something to do, or a lot to do, with our childhood years most of the time, where we felt like we did let somebody down. Let me give you an example. I had emotional traumas. I had physical traumas in my life, mental traumas. I felt like my spirit and my soul were sucked out of me. I felt like I didn't have a childhood, okay? And I'm now living out the childhood that I never lived out. And as I was going about reflection about my past, I always thought that the problem came from what the people did to me, okay? I always thought that it was them being rough on me or looking to apply some kind of a perfectionist attitude on me. But that wasn't the problem. The problem was from the inside out, not from the outside in. Meaning, I internalized the idea that I let my two gods down, my mother and my father, along with the domino effect of my family, my teachers, friends, etc. So the problem was, at a deep level, I let them down. They had expectations for me, and I was constantly told, that's not the way, this is the way, why do you do things that way, yada, yada, yada. These mistakes have to stop, you have to stop doing this, and so on. So it was verbal, emotional, physical. So today, in our adult years, I believe that too often we agree with people. We agree with people too often out of a sake of looking to not let them down and stay connected to people and not be ostracized outside of a group or a tribe. Okay? I believe this is the main thing. I believe our inner child needs to be introduced to the idea that we can have our own opinions about things, and they don't have to be connected to what other people think about things. Many times we hold other people at a very high pedestal, and we put ourselves not even at ground level, but below ground level, right? And we go about our days looking to not step on too many toes. We tippy-toe around life so that we don't have to let more people down, right? But the truth is that it is time for us to stop letting our inner childs down. Okay? This is very, very important because it's always going to be a tedious thing to talk about politics, to talk about money, to talk about religion, and now to talk about COVID. Everybody has an opinion on these things, and those opinions don't necessarily come from them, but they come from their instinctual sides that have most likely merged with other people. So to trust our own truth, we have to, first and foremost, work on our self-worth, okay? Because until our level of self-worth increases, we will not believe in the opinions that we have about things, okay? We'll go about our days feeling like we have something to add or something to say, but we will succumb to the opinions of others. Next thing you know, we are kind of like a pinball bouncing around from one idea to the next, and these ideas are never ours. I mean, when you remember what we say in videos, Brandon. Remember what we say in videos and podcasts and such. Suffering is suppression. Healing is expression. Okay? And it's time that we expressed ourselves and the opinions that we have about things, but still allow us to move towards sacrificing people and even certain situations and experiences. What that means is start speaking up. Okay? But prior to speaking up, you will be met with certain defense mechanisms by the inner child that says, don't say that, don't think that, don't believe in that. Okay? It doesn't matter at this point because we don't want to continue living our lives based on what other people believe about ourselves and the world's, what's happening around the world. We want to take the time to let the inner child know that it's okay to express ourselves from this point forward. And more than anything, what you want to do to increase that level of self-worth and give yourself the freedom to express is you want to take some time in the next few days and write out why your past was a success story. Automatically, most of us, and instinctually, we will feel like our past is a very dark place, okay? But what we want to do is we want to write out why our past is a success story. It's a success story because I survived. It's a success story because I realized how resilient I truly am. It's a success story because I'm taking those experiences and I am now coming to a conclusion that I am much stronger internally than I ever gave myself credit for. That's why in the near future, I will be writing that book that I want to write. I will be speaking on that stage. I will be starting the group, yada, yada, yada. Write, 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 write. Write, write until you have nothing to write anymore. Why your past is a success story. This increases our level of self-worth and allows us to open up to our true inner divine selves. Total tangent. Brandon, I hope that helps. I hope that helps. When you ask a question, we never know where we're going to go, guys. We never know where we're going. We could go into the bushes. We could go into the jungle. We could be swimming in the river. Heck, we don't know where we're going, okay? So beware. Hey, long question, Karen. I like it. Meditation, diet, exercise, inner circle, CBT, NLP, medication. What would you say is the most important to start with? Doing the inner circle, I feel I have so much knowledge, but I still fail to act. Why do we fail or act to act or stay stuck even though we know what we should be doing? Yes, many times knowing and doing are two separate worlds, aren't they? Right? I've said this before. Most people who are here are pretty much experts. If there was someone who was suffering the way you are, who came to you seeking some advice, you would have the best piece of advice for them. You would say, you would do this, then do that, then do this, and, right? Allow yourself to jot down your successes and off you go. But when it comes to ourselves, we don't realize how important the three most important aspects to transitioning from knowing to being is. Many times we're not comfortable with these things and we haven't brought them in wholeheartedly yet. Many times we know a lot of things, but yet we get stuck in thinking that the doing will heal us. Many times it doesn't. Or the knowing will heal us. Many times it doesn't. Or the more content will heal us. Many times it doesn't. Three things that you need to focus on. Number one, okay, is the aligning of your core beliefs and your conscious beliefs. Inner child subconscious, conscious beliefs. Okay? So the first thing is we need to make sure that we change things at a belief level. And in order to change things at a belief level, you have to have emotional wins. Okay? So you can't just go and expose yourself without having a massive, emotionally high experience that comes with it. Let me give you an example. Here I am. I'm ready to heal myself. I'm doing all the right things, okay? And I've decided that today I'm going to put into action what I know. So I go and I expose myself, okay? Pre-COVID, just bear with me here. I'm going to the shopping mall, okay? And there's a lot of people there. And my previous experiences with a shopping mall was panic, anxiousness, people staring at me, symptoms. Maybe you're at that level, okay? But I'm just giving you an example. I will not have a win, a core belief win, if I simply walk through that shopping mall. It's not going to happen, okay? I have to walk through that shopping mall. I have to order juice in the same place where I had that panicky situation before. I have to open myself up to conversing with a stranger. I have to sit in the middle of all those people and observe, keyword observe. I have to have an emotional shift while I'm exposing myself, okay? Only then can you leave the experience and the environment knowing you've taken a step forward, okay? So, understand that, Karen, put everything else aside and focus on the inner circle. That's first and foremost, okay? And as you're focusing on the inner circle, you will be stepping out of your comfort zone slowly, okay? One day you'll be doing this, one day you'll be doing that, one day you'll have an invite to something, one day you'll wake up and instead of internalizing your symptoms, you'll say, hey, I open myself up to healing. This is all exposure. This is all change, okay? So it's focus on the inner circle, okay? And when you get the opportunity to expose yourself to something, don't leave that experience, that environment, those people until you feel like you've created an emotional shift. When you've created an emotional shift, smile, okay? Laugh at yourself, cry if you need to, and then leave. This is a tick, okay? And the more ticks we have, the more wins we have, the faster we change our belief systems. But it comes down to three things: belief systems, identity, and purpose and mission. What's the purpose of healing anxiety for you? What's the purpose? What's the bigger goal? What's the bigger picture? Okay. So we have to shift things at the belief level, which can only happen through emotional shifts. We have to change things at an identity level. We have to focus on the fact that we are not trying things. We are not renting this new person, my friends. We are owning this new identity. You have to step in to who you're looking to be, okay? It's not about getting rid of symptoms, okay? It's about, if I want to create a shift in my belief systems, I have to behave in this manner. I have to speak my truth. I have to walk this way. I have to breathe this way. I have to take on the same habits as this person, okay? Purpose and mission. What is this leading you towards? What's the bigger purpose? For me, it was starting the Anxiety Guy stuff, okay? For you, it could be something different, okay? So I hope that creates a bit of clarity, Karen. Okay, inner circle, focus on it solely. Don't get distracted. Focus on emotional wins and look to identify with who you're looking to become. Okay, many times we don't want to take that big of a leap because it's scary. It's scary to put on new clothes. It's scary to put on a new face, right? It's scary to adopt new feelings and emotions because people on the outside are not used to this person. They're not used to the new you, okay? All of a sudden they're going to go, what the heck is wrong with you? Why are you so happy, right? Why are you so positive? Okay, and you're going to go, well, this really is the real me, okay? Whoever that person was before, all I was trying to do was I was trying to create a connection with you and not let you down. Okay, but now it's more about me and less about you, okay? Namaste. But in any case, bit of clarity there. Kobe, how are you? How have you been, my friend? It's been a while. This would be a great success story. Kobe's actually. Maybe he can share a few things about his journey, right? And when we do these lives, right, we're doing these Q&As and there's a lot of information coming out and such, but I want you to simplify the information. Simplify it and focus on how it relates to you. All right, let's keep pinning these questions, guys. How do you authentically practice being that new identity without feeling you're forcing something fake? Speed. Your instincts will want to take over, but if you slow yourself down, you will become more aware, and the more aware you become, the easier it's going to be for you to express and to adopt your new identity, okay? Remember, my friends, first, the identity is based on what other people want us to be like, okay? First, it's that. Then the identity is focused on, I want to be X. I want to be like X, a family member, a role model. I want to be the social butterfly. I want to be the rock. I want to be that person that other people see as being comfortable with the real me. So then we become someone. After we become someone, we tend to move towards more of a deeper spiritual meaning around our identity, which is we become no one. We become no one. I am nobody. Okay, that's what I am. I am nobody. I don't associate myself with being any kind of person. I don't have any judgments or labels around who I am or what I'm capable of or anything like that. I am done with all that information. So again, as you can see, this is a transition. I guide you from the artificial you to the new identity. You guide yourself from that identity that you've looked to become to becoming nobody. That's your job, okay? That's your job. This is my job here. That's your job, okay? If you want to get to know this even deeper, read the book from Joe Dispenza labeled Supernatural. Okay, he speaks about identity work very deeply. So, as you can see, Natalie and everybody else, going from an identity that you want to create to having the universe create or move you towards the identity that you're meant to become, the nobody, takes trust. You have to trust that at some point in this journey, you have to let go. You have to stop trying to figure everything out by yourself. Okay, that's when you make that leap from somebody to nobody. Okay, it's not about me. It's not about what other people tell me that I should be like. Because we, as a society, place a tremendous amount of respect on intelligence and absolutely no respect on intuition. None. You know, I remember years ago, and some of you know this story, okay? Story time. I remember that I was so fed up with living with all these doubts and all these fears, mainly two fears that the book that I highly recommend, Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, says in the book, and I had these fears, the fear of poverty and the fear of death. When I had these fears, I remember saying to myself, if I continue to live enslaved to these fears, I'm never going to live the life that I want to live. So, in that moment, without much thought, I took some very deep intuitive action. I left my house. I went outside, and I brought blankets with me, I brought pillows with me. And this is how dissatisfied and fed up I was of living in this realm of fear. And I slept outside. I slept on the streets for 3 nights. And when I slept on the streets, something started to happen within me. What started to happen within me was I was no longer so caught up in my thinking. I was no longer overthinking everything, looking for a solution, but only finding more questions. I was no longer focused on looking to heal everything through my intelligence. I met, it's going to sound kind of crazy, but I met a lot of incredible homeless people. Right? Homeless people are some of the most intuitive people you will ever meet. They don't have a place in society because they haven't embarked on a necessity to build intelligence to the point where they are stuck within overthinking. But rather, as you can see in society, intuitiveness is seen as something as being alternative, And what I want you to understand from this story of me sleeping on the streets and such was, I started to trust in life. I started to trust in the idea that I could be guided rather than guide myself, And I think that one of the most important aspects of healing is trusting that voice when it speaks to you. The interesting thing is that no matter what influencer or content you listen to, they can only take you so far. The rest is up to you. You get to a point where you start listening to content less and less and less and less. And you stop looking for influencers so much, but you allow the right information to come to you at the right time. So, at some point in this journey, Natalie, everybody else, you're going to have to understand that doing less could very much equal doing more for yourself. I hope that makes sense. Someone had a question on inner child, I think. Jody, if that was you, just please re-ask. Here we go. I don't want to block Jody. No, I want to pin Jody. Is the inner child same as when we were actually a child? Yes, and then some. That's how I visualize myself as the inner child. Yes, the inner child is you as a child between conception and the age of about 7. That is who we refer to as being the inner child. The inner child is your subconscious mind. The inner child is that highly emotional side of you. The inner child is your instincts. Your inner child is that part of you that perceives everything as being a potential threat, a danger. The inner child is that part of you that looks for comfort over happiness. It looks for certainty over uncertainty. This is your inner child. Okay. And when you visualize, when you do imagery work and you're focusing on inner child, you want to focus on those times. You want to focus on those ages. You want to focus on those moments, because when we focus, and this is based on a lot of people that have gone through trauma, okay, either one event that was so highly emotional and overwhelming, or a repeated number of events, it doesn't matter. Either one of them can cause the person in adulthood to experience anxiety disorders. Many times when we focus on child, inner child, we have a picture of pain. We have a picture of distress, right? And during our adult years, you'll notice that not a whole lot changes in the present until that picture goes from distress and suffering to neutrality and pleasantness. Okay? When the inner child shifts its perceptions over what took place in the past, so will the adult. Okay? This is why I place such an emphasis on trauma work. If you're doing trauma-based healing, good for you, right? Good for you, right? If you're doing it in any way that you can relate to and is a nice connection to you, good for you. But that's part of it. That's part of it. Jody, I hope that helps. Kobe wants to share that I started to work at Walmart again, the same place I had my first panic attack. It's amazing because I have completely changed my perceptions around the store and my job. And it feels so incredible to be able to face the place where the anxiety finally boiled over and have minimal to non-existent anxiousness. Colby, if you could give people starting their journey off one piece of advice coming from you, what would it be? Please share. I'm not taking on new clients at the moment, Julie. I highly recommend the Inner Circle program. It is lengthy, it is deep, it focuses on past, present, and future, and it will have messy times within it, but no matter what, all you have to do is persevere, okay? And I would highly recommend the Inner Circle program. Coupon code coming out Friday morning. Here. Oh, yeah, Leah, I get it. I get it. I do. Any advice for people living in America right now? Where's the line between being prepared and being paranoid? You know, yeah, the paranoia is everywhere, right? It is, I mean, let me just go through Kobe's thing real quickly here, his response. Trust yourself in this process. Remember that you are literally more and bigger than anything troubling you in your beautiful life, and you can change everything with love. Thank you. I believe that our level of awareness at this point in life with COVID and all the paranoia becomes even more important. I believe, Leah, that one of the most important things right now is structure. Okay, structure. I believe that we need to, and this is how the next master class is going to go, but I'll give you a brief snippet around it. I believe what's important is we need to be very targeted at what we specifically need in the morning, throughout the day, in the evening. Structure will allow us to create a force field, okay, an unconscious and subconscious force field that allows us to move us away from paranoia, okay, and towards awareness. So Leah, more than anything, structure in something in the morning specific to what you need. Throughout the day, what skill sets are you going to bring with you throughout the day? And in the evening, okay, how do you want to end the day? How do you want to finish the day? Focus this structure based on what your inner child needs. Okay, what your inner child needs. Okay, not what your thinking mind believes is right for you. There's a difference. Your inner child may need to eliminate guilt from the past. It may need to release the blame towards others. Okay? Your inner child feels like they need to take a break. The nervous system just needs a break. Okay? The inner child needs direction. It needs to be loved. It needs to be comforted. It needs to be told that your past was something to learn from and it wasn't your fault. I could go on and on and on. How I structured my day when I was healing, because without the structure there was no healing. That's why the Inner Circle program is so important. I woke up in the morning with specifically image cycling. That's what I did. I cycled through certain images. Go on YouTube, image cycling the anxiety guy. That's how I started my morning. I brought physiological skills with me throughout the day. Okay, so I focused on speed, posture, breathing patterns. I focused on hand gestures. I focused on facial expressions. So throughout the day, I brought physiological tools with me. In the evening, I felt like because my inner child was afraid, I needed to do some kind of reframing work. Okay, that could be tapping, that could be related to EFT, that could be EMDR, that could be emotional reframing the way I do it on YouTube. No matter what, structure will move you away from paranoia, okay, and move you towards awareness. Jody says, believe in yourself and you will succeed. Dennis's programs do take a lot of work, and only you can make that happen. If you truly in your heart want to get better and you're willing to do the work, then give it a try. It's well worth it. Highly recommend it. Tier 3, amazing. Everything else is Band-Aids. The programs work. The programs work if you work just as Jody said. And that really is it. You know, that really is it. Yeah, structure, Leah, structure. Yeah. How do I go about my anxiety around eating and drinking? The feelings I get in my stomach, I feel as when I have an anxiety attack, I have to throw up. Finn, the question would be, what past experience led you to this anxiety? Okay, what past experience or something you read or something you watched led you to becoming sensitized around eating and drinking? What past panicky experience led you to this? Remember, guys, so much of anxiety is based around a bad memory. Let that sink in. So much of anxiety disorders, our distress today is based on a bad memory. Okay? Because it's the memory that is fresh in the mind of the subconscious. Okay? And when someone has a high degree of emotion around an experience, that experience gets stored deeper than any other experience. So in the present, if the person is faced with a similar, eating, drinking, oh God, don't do that type of thing, the body will react in this way to give you the message of what took place before. Okay? So memory, memory, memory. The problem isn't the actual experience, it's the memory that's still being held within. Now, if we can get to a place where we are very, very good at reframing those memories, okay, and allowing ourselves to go through the experience once again, but in the way that is different, then the memory changes, the instincts are not so instinctual, and all of a sudden we feel a certain amount of peace around things that used to be threatening to us, right? So please make sure that in your healing you are working with memory, okay? So Finn, I would start there. Yes, more lives on the way, my friend. Most definitely, most definitely. I just started week 6, Inner Circle. I am on my second go around. Woo! There's so much content and I am doing it again. Karen, well done. Yeah, Leah, if you're looking for the structure, I would highly recommend the Inner Circle. It focuses on the timeline of healing, which is key, past, present, future. So week 5, Natalie, oh, you're just getting going. Awesome. Yeah, and Finn, continue to surround yourself around this content because I feel like you are at the beginning of all this, which will in fact lead you to some very interesting and fulfilling places, my friend. So stick around. That experience most likely did happen in infantry, during the infant stages, Sue. I do many, many sessions with people that focus on memory and trauma, and this is where the majority of my attention goes, because the sooner I can take care of something, the easier it's going to be to live a more peaceful life in the present. So many times these things even happen while the fetus is in the womb, right? The fetus is in the womb and the mom is feeling depressed, the mom is feeling anxious, the mom is feeling fearful. While she's experiencing these feelings and emotions, she has an accident, maybe an illness, or she hurts herself. All these feelings, these emotions, these verbal communications between mom and dad are being felt by the child in the womb. So when the child comes to the world, they have a number of pre-existing ideas about themselves and reality. And these ideas aren't necessarily understood, but they are unconsciously acted upon. Therefore, the person lives in fear, and every single time they look for inner peace or love, they have a negative association around love. That's why you see so many people say, I want to get into a loving relationship. But their interpretation of love is in fact self-punishment or fear. So you can see that a part of them wants true love, but the other part of them is stuck in their childhood years. Because when mom and dad were fighting and arguing and all this was happening, that's what the child thought love was. Right? So that's why trauma work is very, very important. That's why reframing work is very, very important. I do believe that, yes, emotionally reframing specific experiences and relationships is important, but at the same time, it may not be necessary for some people. It could be as easy as guiding the inner child when the inner child has an idea. Oh God, don't do that. Or you're not worthy of X. Or don't be creative. It's way outside your comfort zone, right? When these ideas show up, they're nothing more than opportunities. They're opportunities. That's why anxiety is an opportunity. Fear is an opportunity. Challenges are opportunities. Don't wake up every single day hoping for a wonderful day. Wake up every single morning looking to be equipped with what you need to be equipped with to take on the challenges that you're going to take on that day, because there will be challenges. Right? I will be uploading this, Tracy, this Sunday on YouTube, right? And if you want to catch up on the other Facebook Lives, go on YouTube on the playlist Facebook and YouTube Lives. You'll find all the previous ones. Oh, wow, you just touched on something very personal for me. Donna, what could that be? I want to know. Any advice, Graciela, any advice when it's not possible to keep a routine because every day is different? No, I don't believe that to be the case. I believe that what you're saying is a defense mechanism by the inner child disallowing you from creating a routine because it's afraid of change. Okay? That's all it is. When somebody is met with something that they need to do for themselves, they know they need to do it, right? And they know that they can do it. At the same time, there will be excuses and reasons not to do it as well. Conscious adult mind says, yes, we must do it. Inner child subconscious says, no, because I don't want change to happen. Okay? When we know that these excuses are coming from the inner child, we can guide the inner child away from the excuses and towards the benefits of doing it. Remember, guys, stop focusing on looking to keep things as they are. Start focusing on how beautiful and loving and amazing your life is going to be when you step into fear. Step into what you're afraid of, okay? Do it with the tools that I'm trying to present to you, right? If you're reading F Coping, Start Healing, there are some responding tools there. Take one of them each and every day with you throughout the day, right? So as you can see, as you go through the day, there's this two-part to us: adult, child, present, past. The question is, are you going to create a creative future based on what you believe is true, or are you going to allow the inner child to run the future based on what it believes is true? Jeff, thoughts on overcoming health anxiety and specifically exercise? I really struggle feeling that sensations over exercising are me about to keel over. Health anxiety, first of all, is a symptom, okay? Anything related to that symptom is, again, a symptom, okay? Many times when we heal health anxiety, we find other things to overly concern ourselves over and be threatened by. So we need to understand that over-worrying is the biggest problem, and we need to understand where it comes from, okay? But aside from that, when it comes to health anxiety, I would begin consciously associating what good can come out of exercise, okay, to present these ideas to the inner child, what good can come from it, why it's beneficial, and I would start building on those ideas. Number two, anything that's specific to the sensations, you want to respond in a way where you say, the sensations have everything to do with me and adrenaline because of the exercising, and it's good for me, it's not bad for me. So the biggest thing is being afraid of these sensations. It's being afraid of the symptoms. When you lose the fear over the sensations, okay, now they turn into pleasantness. You're working with them. You're compassionate towards them. So more than anything, I would take these ideas, Jeff, and I would systematically walk the inner child each and every day towards safety. First, you go for a walk. That's your exercise. And you say, you know what? Here's the sensation that I'm feeling. Here's why it's safe. I love you. We are safe. Then when you're comfortable, I would start going for faster walks. Same idea. Okay. And then I would start jogging very, very lightly. So I would start introducing exercise into your life again, but from the beginning, okay? And allowing you to guide the sensations rather than succumb to them, if that makes sense, okay? Yes, the video on YouTube talks a little bit about this. Yes. Yeah. Vernice says, and this is important, she says that when I go out of my comfort zone, it feels uncomfortable at first, but then eventually settles into it. Yes, and we want to get to a point, Vernice, where it's more comfortable rather than uncomfortable, even in the beginning stages. That's our goal. If you have not started the inner circle, please do it. It works wonders. Michael, thank you. Leah has some great advice for Jeff as well. Are me and Robin ever going to get married? This year. Yeah, this year it is. And if you guys would like me to live it for all of you, which is what I was going to do anyway, let me know. Let me know. Yeah. I'm going to go down to the south of Bali in a place called Nusa Dua and have that marriage happen. Yes, August, September, around there. If it doesn't happen, then most likely towards the end of the year. Okay, but I'm hoping this year. Yeah. Okay. It's weird I get that question more often lately, right? It's been 9-10 years of being engaged. Yes. Yes, wedding live. All right, done. Yes, you want to be a part of it? Sure, 100%. Why not? Why not? And just to finish off, guys, it's sometimes you have these days where you feel like, oh God, I'm really moving in the right direction. Things are really happening, and the anxiety thing is behind me. You really have those days, even weeks. And then you have a moment of depression or emptiness, or you have a situation that you get caught up in, and next thing you know, you're backtracking again. I want you to know that the wins, along with the challenges, they're both necessary. It's necessary to have setbacks. It's necessary to have setbacks. Because those very setbacks are the very pieces of information that will take us to the next level, to take us to the next part. So no matter where you are on this healing journey, you need to understand that trust is on the way. Trust is on the way if you can allow it to be. As you can see, when we do meditations, there's a feeling of letting go. There's a feeling of not overthinking things. There's a feeling of being guided rather than guiding ourselves. This is very, very important, right? I do touch a lot on the metaphysical aspect of healing, and I believe it comes naturally to me, and I feel like I need to. And I talk about God, and I talk about these things. I'm not afraid to do that, and neither should you be. Because if it resonates with you, then move towards it. But you're exactly where you need to be on this journey, okay? Please don't question it. Please allow the setbacks to be there. Allow yourself to compassionately accept the setbacks, okay? And allow yourself to naturally come into your own, because that's really what's happening here. You're coming into your own, right? Like we said, the progression, right? Going from the artificial you to who you want to be, to becoming a nobody, right? It's a beautiful thing to become nobody, right? With no expectations, labels, judgments. Very Buddhist, if you ask me. But again, I don't want to place labels on things, right? I love you all. Have the best sleep, because most of you are about to sleep. I will be posting this on YouTube. Enjoy it again and again and again. The code for Inner Circle and all the other programs are coming out Friday morning. Please use that code. The structure is there. All you got to do is follow it, right? Inner Circle program. It's, I believe in it a lot. Love you all. Brandon, Leah, Leslie, Kim, thank you for giving me the most important thing that you can ever give anybody, your time, your focus, your energy. Stephen, always there. Thank you, my friend. Love you. Jody, keep going, Jody. I'm behind you 100%. We're getting there. Kayla, Tracy Sue, Lauren, everybody, Donna, thank you for adding to this. And if you know anybody that would like to be a part of this page, please go ahead and add them. And do me a massive, massive favor. Please leave a rate and a review on this page if it's guiding you, if it's helping you. Please do that. It would mean a lot to me. Bye, my friends.